Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for another Japanese commercial breakdown video. This commercial is for UQ Mobile, a low-cost cellular carrier here in Japan. Today, I'm going to focus on various lighting concepts and techniques. Alright, let's start by going full screen mode here. Alright, so we have this beautiful queen in this gorgeous castle, and she's getting ready to make an announcement about a new phone. So she wants to make this big announcement about this new UQ mobile phone. She walks in to greet her subjects, and then in Japanese she says, 発表する, which means I have an announcement to make. Okay, so she basically says, if anybody has any objections, please raise your toe. So they're all a little bit shocked. Of course, there are no objections, so her new phone gets passed into law. So this is a commercial more on the comedic, funny end of things. This is a big budget production with all the bells and whistles, including the RE Alexa, Cook Optics, top-of-the-line lighting equipment, large-scale sets, crew, and cast. So we have a very special one for you today. Let's take a look together. First, I'd like to talk about three-point lighting. So as we can see here, we have a very strong key light coming in from the windows over here, which is lighting up this part of the face while leaving this part of the face in shadow. Okay? To soften the shadow and decrease contrast, they use a fill light. So fill lights are coming in over here. These are set up on the other side, typically at a 45-degree angle. These are used to give a controlled level of contrast. And lastly, we have the backlight. The backlight are these tungsten lights here, practicals, which they serve to separate the characters from the background. Alright, so next I'd like to talk about this concept of high key lighting. This concept is best understood by examining the idea of contrast ratios. This refers to the difference in luminance between the light part of the image and the dark part of the image. As you can see, the exposure across the image is fairly even with minimal contrast. There are a few shadows that fall off very nicely over here, handled very well by the RE Alexa. High key lighting is going to be a lot more flattering for this gorgeous looking queen. So we have light coming over here, we have the big light coming through the windows, we have these practical light sources here, and I'm sure we have tons of other tungsten light setups over here. So this lighting is commonly applied to comedic content and beauty shots. This is a perfect match for this type of commercial. So next, I'd like to talk about soft lighting. Okay, so the quality of light and how it is shaped is another important factor in cinematography. Softer diffused light produces shadows with a gradient and softer edge which wraps gradually around a subject. Diffused light is generally used to replicate the quality of natural ambient light from the sun. So as you can see here, the light gradually wraps around here very well, very naturally. This can be achieved by shining a light from into diffusion before it hits the subject, bouncing light off the surface, or combining these two methods by first bouncing, then diffusing the same light in a technique called book lighting. This is a very high budget commercial, so they are probably using high powered lights with white diffusion gels and full grid cloth or silk. Some common methods for bouncing would be white ultra bounces on 8x8s, or 12x12 or 20x20 frames, or using polyboards. So these guys are not sparing any expense. Moving on, color temperature, very important subject. So visible light occurs on a spectrum of colors and is measured in kelvins. So what we have here, as you can see, is we have the key light side. The light is shining on her face. Then we have the fill side. Okay, so we have warmer temperatures over here at 32K, and then we have cooler temperatures here at 5600 Kelvin. So just as a cinematographer uses contrast ratios to create separation and depth, color temperature can be used in the same way. So we have these warmer practical lights back here creating separation of the characters from the background. So finally now for my last topic, naturalistic lighting. In general, this commercial is lit in a very naturalistic way that attempts to emulate and enhance the current ambient light on set. As mentioned, they have placed large light sources outside the set windows to replicate the ambient light from the sun. So you're going to see these big lights that are lighting up the set here. Also, we have lots of practical lights all over. Another naturalistic technique is to control the ambient light by using black textiles to help shape and create contrast. This is called negative fill. So they have probably this big black piece of textile up here to help shape the light. Black subtracts the light, so placing this material on one side of the character's face, for example, will create more shadow while retaining a lifelike shape to the light. So as you can see here, the key light is lighting up her face very naturally, and it's wrapping around in shadow over here. This commercial communicates UQ Mobile's lighthearted message and does a fabulous job at telling a story with comedic tone and gorgeous visuals. The key is choosing the right type of lighting and techniques to express the meaning in the scenes and to create work that stands out. That's a wrap for today, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Please take a look at my links in the description below. If you like my content, please subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye for now.